Hi, welcome back to Identity 101. This is Layer 8, Environment. And to introduce this topic, to begin to explain it, I want to tell you a story about a spontaneous trip I once took to the other side of the world. I wrote a book about this, by the way, An American in China, Starting Over, and you can buy that if you're interested at uoflife.com/books. So anyway, we hopped in a plane with 7 other people I barely knew, had just met that semester, most of them. And we landed in Taiwan. One of my best friends who lived there, had married a Chinese girl, picked us up. We crashed at his apartment. He moved out. We went around town looking for jobs and just had this glorious, amazing, super cool adventure. And I realized as time went by, as I learned the language and learned to get along in the culture, I realized that back at home, I had all these expectations, well, projections really, where I imagined what other people expected from me, and I felt kind of locked in to those. So in this new environment with all these new people around me, I got to completely start over. I could reinvent myself. I could be whoever I wanted, and that was a cool experience. 2 of my best friends there were Peter and Vicky, and they were my best friends because they had such an adventurous spirit, especially Peter, and Vicky was an awesome sport. She came along with us, and we would hop in Vicky's car, hop on our motorcycles and scooters and drive up into the mountains and get lost. And once we found this bridge, I think the Fujin, I don't know, bridge, it's like 150 feet above the river. And I'd brought my climbing ropes, my rappelling ropes, and we tied them off and rappelled down and tied the ropes too short. So the last 10 feet we just fell through the air, landed in the river and swam to the side quick as we could to grab this outcropping. It was just this amazing adventure. The night before I left, we stayed up all night, drove out to the beach, got a watermelon, just these great times. And one of the greatest things that made it so good was not just that we were out doing cool, adventurous stuff, but here were some people who shared, my sense of adventure. So I could see myself reflected in them, and they got it, and I got them, and I could kind of see myself more clearly. And it was really fun and really empowering to have someone who, people who I understood and could get along with so well. Well, after I was about ready to fly home, I planned a 3-week trip to mainland China. And I flew to Hong Kong, got on a boat, and went up to Guangzhou, Canton, and then took a train up to Beijing. And on the way, I met some friends, including Matthew, and they were students in Beijing. And Matthew's like, "Hey, you should come crash at my dorm." So I'm like, "All right." So during the week, the first week I was in Beijing, we went dancing in a hotel, we went to a party at the Australian Embassy, and then we went camping on the Great Wall of China. We just backpacked along and picked this guard tower and slept. And I climbed down the side and gathered twigs, made a little fire and roasted apples. It was so awesome. And then in the morning, we kept hiking along the wall, and we hit this train station, and we waited several hours for a train as rain just pounded on the tile roof. And this whole week, Matthew had been saying over and over, "Hey, Sean, you got to stay and study here with us." And I was like, "Oh, no, I got obligations back in school and my girlfriend and all this." And but this time when he said it, I thought, I want to. And so on the train ride back to Beijing, I thought it over, and by the time I got there, I called up the airlines and changed my plans. I wrote an express letter home to Katie, which didn't get there quite soon enough. That's another story. Read the book. And I ended up staying there till Christmas, and it was another cool adventure. And with brand new people and new adventures, I got to reinvent myself all over again. And so if it's not clear by now, when I say that the layer 8 of your identity, of who you are, is environment, I'm not talking about Mother Nature. I'm not talking about global warming and how that reflects on you. That's some topic that you really, really care about. And like 50% of your Facebook posts are about how we're killing the planet. In that case, sure, that's your environment. Mostly I'm talking about everything around you that you interact with that helps define you, that helps reflect you, that draws out your best self or whatever else it brings out. So in this video, we'll discuss 2 key aspects, 2 things that we all have in common in our environment, which kind of help shape who we are and reveal who we are. The first one is your home. Where do you live? Look around and consider, maybe for the first time, how well your home environment reflects who you are. Does it express you? I mean, what's your personality and how does it show, right? Is the place stylish? Is it convenient? Is it practical? Is it clean? Or is it cluttered? And the main point I want to make here, I mean, you can live wherever you want. You can maybe design it up how you like. But as you plan it, do it so it fits you, so you're comfortable there, And when you bring friends over to to see it, then you're kind of proud of it, you know, it kind of expresses you. I think that's an ideal. On the other hand, if your place is kind of cluttered or too dark, maybe that's bringing you down a little bit. So you could do something about that. Even if you spend only 30 seconds cleaning something up, you make a little habit of that, and it'll make a difference. It'll definitely make a difference. If for some reason you can't do anything about your home, maybe you just don't have the money to get something nicer or decorate. Maybe you've got roommates who are really messy or don't like your style, then at least get yourself out to some environment where you do feel more comfortable. Go take a walk in the park, kick through the sand of the beach, go backpacking in the Swiss Alps, whatever, you know, go express and just enjoy being yourself in environments which are supportive to you and not draining. So there's home. Number 2, the other environmental factor, major thing to consider, is your relationships. Not just your romantic partner, but your family, your friends, your coworkers, the strangers, neighbors, all the people around you. Take a look and see how you interact with them and how that shows who you are or lets you be really who you are. So maybe you have some awesome friends, and if you do, just love them, and be so grateful and tell them and keep those relationships. They're so valuable. Maybe you have some relationships which are okay, but maybe these people don't really get you or aren't really supportive. And in this case, you kind of have 2 choices. You can either go find some new ones and either add them to your friends or replace the old ones, or you can give those ones a chance. You can ask them questions, talk about things you're interested in, see if they are too, and do the same for them. Ask them what they're interested in and show a little interest in them. Conversely, I know a lot of my friends at my current day job, cool people, most of them really like video games, and I really have just about 0 interest in them. Well, maybe 2 out of 100, maybe 5 out of 100. But whenever I bring up like these topics we're talking about here on the University of Life, they never disappoint. They're interested in these things too, and they have good, insightful things to say, and it lets me connect with them on this level that helps me be me and strengthens that relationship, and I get to enjoy it, and I get to be myself a little bit better. Finally, if you have relationships that are just downright toxic and they don't want to improve and they really bring you down, don't stay in those, get away. Call some helpline or something if you need to. Get help. If you're in these relationships because you're afraid or you feel stuck, people can help you get out of them, and you've got to do that. You've got to take care of yourself. If you're there because you're trying to help these people, if they're not growing and helping themselves, you're not really helping them. You're just a little band-aid on something that just won't get fixed. Maybe you're even enabling them. So you got to look out for yourself, number 1. I mean, yes, love the whole world, definitely, but love yourself first. That is your number 1 duty. So take care of you. Don't stay in toxic relationships if they can't improve. So in summary, the whole point of this video is look around your world, your environment, watch how you interact, increase your awareness of how it expresses who you are, and help you discover who you are, and enjoy being yourself. And then number 2, don't just see who you are, design who you want to be, and create your environment around you so it supports that very best version of yourself. If you want to do something good for the world, that's it. Be your best self. That's what the world needs. That's what would brighten up. Show other people how to do the same thing and help them be their best selves. This is a perfect example of the way I close every video here, right, at the University of Life. Live smart, live happy. And get started now. No excuses. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.